Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Dan Deneen from Alderock Entertainment Group, and we'll be looking at Guildhall Fantasy, which was out before.
Yes, this is
from
a
Hobess Wong. And Guildhall Fantasy Fellowship, I believe, was the original Guildhall title. Now
reskinned it in a smaller box, more compact, which is nice.
With different names.
Correct.
For the characters, a different sort of setting. But otherwise is the same.
Yes, mechanically speaking, it is the same. Some of the aspects have changed in the sense of the icons are a little bit more clear. Right. We actually have reference cards specifically, so you can actually have it and actually read what's going on with a class, as opposed to having to just read the icons initially. So it helps the teaching.
Okay. Now, aside from Fellowship, this is out, I believe, June?
That one's out in June. The Alliance comes out in July, and then we have Coalition releasing in August.
So is Alliance the same as Job Fair, or different?
There are mechanical differences similar to like the characters, but for the most part, it should have retained its initial one.
Okay, and then Coalition is its own thing.
Yes,
it's something different.
It has extra cards that are able, like different classes and extra abilities directly on them. As you can see, like here, if you can see the card here for the Alliance is different, so he'll have actually expanded abilities. Now they're all basically able to be played together.
Right.
So you can shuffle them up and go together, or you can play them in a standalone. And at your local store, we do have our big box of holding. If you buy all three from your local store will be able to give this to you, and it has slots for each of them, so you can carry them all in one big box if you'd like.
Okay. Now, the gist of the game is that you are going to be collecting characters.
Trying to make sets.
Sets of characters with different colors, and as you do, you get more powerful abilities from those characters. Until, of course, you get all five and score them and lose that power forever.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, while you're setting up your sets, you have to be paying attention to everyone else's set, because a number of your cards, for example, the Assassin, will allow you to actually discard cards from opposing players' hands, or some of the effects will allow you to switch cards from your hand with other people's Guildhall, so you'll actually be able to snipe out specific. So when people get up to like 4, for example, like the Assassin's currently at 3, if someone played a yellow Assassin and I knew that I had a yellow Assassin in my hand, I would be able to switch that directly with them or otherwise.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you'd do more of an overview of the gameplay or...
Well, the gameplay, you'd start with 9 cards in hand, and you can take 2 actions per turn. So just like the basic rules. One going on action is you can always discard any number of cards in hand and redraw up to 6. So if you're like, I really need, like let's say we have a red assassin. Let's say I really, really needed a yellow assassin. Not that I have one in hand, but I could then discard all 8 cards in my hand and draw 6 and hopefully get it. Or if my opponent had one, I believe the Spellblade allows me to switch a card in hand with someone else's Guildhall. So if someone else has a red assassin, I could give them this green wizard, drop the yellow assassin back to me, and then with my next action, play that.
Okay. So it's all about building up the powers that you have and manipulating things to get the sets. And as you complete sets,
you're able to turn tricks. Like if this was a yellow assassin, hypothetically,
I'll just sweep it away. So
you'd sweep it away, and then you can use that. That counts as, that's called a book, and you'll be able to buy one of these cards up here that'll give you that ability for the turn. Or, for example, this one, which is 2 books worth, 9 victory points, and you played a 20.
Okay. All right. And as you say, they interact. You just use a certain number of rolls in each game.
Correct.
And otherwise play the same.
Yep.
All right.
They are interchangeable.
There's an overview of Guildhall Fantasy.
Good deal.